You're listening to Cards to the Moon, a podcast about trading cards from both a collector and investor perspective. We hope you'll stick around for the ride as we take a deep dive into the state of the hobby, share some hot takes, hopefully some useful advice, and fun stories along the way. Hey guys, welcome back to Cards to the Moon. This is episode 306. My name is Clark from 5cardguys.com. You can also find me at 5cardguys, all one word, on Instagram or on YouTube or on Facebook. Co-hosting with me, as usual, is Hyung, who is at Cho Hyung on IG and YouTube. John couldn't make it to this episode, but hopefully he'll be on soon. So let's get right into it. Off the top today, let's talk about the release of 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball. You know, it's one of our favorite releases every year. And we got some new insert cards in this year's set. So I just want to go through a few of them, and then you tell me, Hyung, whether you like it or if it's not for you. All right, so first, of course, we got to talk about the gold Logoman cards, which we actually discussed on a previous podcast episode when they first announced it. And if you don't remember what it was, the gold Logoman was put on the uniforms of last season's main award winners. So, for example, you got the AL and NL MVP winners who were Judge and Ohtani, respectively. You got your Cy Young Award winners. That's Tariq Skubal and Paul Skeens. No, sorry, Tariq Skubal and Chris Sale. We almost forget that. And your Rookie of the Year winners are Paul Skeens. And do you know who the Rookie of the Year winner was for AL?
Last year?
Yep.
No, let's look it up.
I could tell you it's Lewis Gill.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What happened to him? New York Yankee.
Yankees.
I have a couple of cards that I was excited about because they were worth nothing before, and then last year they went up. But I guess this year he's inactive or he's not. He's injured.
Things can change quickly, right? You might have lost that window to sell off your Lewis Gill cards.
Hey, he's on rehab start just today. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, but on the flip side, if you have Paul Skeens, you're doing well. So, Anyway, Topps, they took the gold Logoman from those uniforms and they put them in cards, and now they're in the 2025 Topps Chrome set as the chase card. And the main headliner, I would argue, is probably the dual gold Logoman autograph card of Ohtani and Judge together. So let me ask you first, if you pulled that card, Hyung, are you keeping it or are you selling it?
I'm selling it, buddy. I'm selling it. I'm selling it while it's hot. I mean, it's still a monster card because, one, the Logoman has been a thing. Logoman. Yeah, the gold Logoman. And that's the crazy thing. So what I'm seeing fanatics do, and we say it all the time, they're reinventing, the collecting space of creating, and you could say it's artificial scarcity, but it's not, because it's real because they're autograph cards, right? So in terms of every set, so when Topps Chrome Update, we were talking about it and they released, the debut patch. That was a massive, massive upgrade for Topps Chrome Update in general. And then now Topps Chrome, we love Topps Chrome in general. This is more of a reason to kind of say that Topps Chrome is that flagship Chrome product. And for me, I always am a fan of Topps Chrome. I think it's one of their best products from an annual perspective. And, the stuff that they're doing is exactly what you want to see as a hobbyist, in my perspective. Because like I said, if there's more chases, if there's more desired cards, which, like I said, if you look at those cards, they're ridiculous in terms of eye appeal and what a Logoman or a gold Logoman would look like. So having Ohtani and Judge as kind of like that chase, along with the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young winners, I think it's great for the set as a whole, because Topps Chrome, it is a hit or miss. I'm telling you, if you're busting open hobby boxes, right. Even jumbo, like the prices are ridiculous, but you're at least getting 3 autos. But I've skunked on so many hobby boxes of Topps Chrome in the past and it's not getting easier. That's the thing, because they're including all these chases, but the print run obviously goes up. The first thing I notice is a 300 card set now. right? So it's
what was it before?
I don't know. Maybe it was 200.
Less?
I want to say 200 plus your additional. So I remember because Vladdy in 2019 was like card 201. And those are the kind of like the last cards in the set. But now you're going with 300. How many more rookie autos? And I didn't do my DD on it, but I'm assuming there's a lot more rookie autos. So stuff like that where it doesn't increase your odds. It's actually lessening your odds because most likely print runs are increasing in general, more parallels. The odds of you pulling something, and when I was ripping a lot in 2018, 2019, 2020, it was hard to hit anything in Topps Chrome. So I would imagine that it's going to be a lot more difficult. So
agreed. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, right? Like, to your point, the checklist has gone up, over time, but there's been a lot more inserts, sets, parallel cards, which we'll talk about in 1 second. The other flip side to that is that, relatively speaking, the hobby box is generally still affordable for Topps Chrome, which is nice, right? It's still $240 US, $450 for a jumbo. Like, we've seen sets that are way too expensive, but at least Topps Chrome still in that range. But to your point, it's just that much harder to get hits because of the print run is increasing, and that's why they're able to probably keep those prices down to where it is right now.
For sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I was alluding to it. Some of the newer insert sets this year include the Power Players insert set, which is a throwback to the 90s, but they kind of revamped the background design. It's very super vibrant. It kind of reminds me of the Summertime Series one that's been out recently. And kind of like a color blast on steroids. That's how I would describe it as. But there are still different color parallels even to that, which is interesting to see. So your initial thoughts on the Power Players insert? It features guys like Tatis, Dylan Cruz, Judge.
How rare are these? That's the thing. It's like inserts are inserts at the end of the day. I'm not.
Yeah.
From a collector standpoint, it's very desirable, but.
Yeah. I mean, the base, I guess, I'm sure they print those to the moon. But you do have red refractors. Yeah. Exactly.
But with the refractors, like, you can't even tell with, like, even the Future Stars inserts. Right? That's why I never love, like, the inserts. I mean, but, like, there's insert autos and stuff like that. And then I'm sure if I pulled, like, out of 25, I'd be pumped. But really, you can't really tell it's an orange refractor because they're so vibrant and colorful that they just have like an orange tint to it, right? But
my thoughts exactly.
It's one of those things. Anytime I say, I'm not a fan, or it's not that I'm not a fan. It's one of those things where if I pulled it, I would be a fan. So I'll just categorize it as that. I'm not hating on it, but if I pulled it, I would be a fan.
Yeah. I mean, another way of saying this is if I pulled it, I'd be psyched, but I'd probably list it on eBay.
100%.
Whatever I can.
Yeah.
And get something I really, really want. But no, it's a cool looking card, but I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, if you look at, there's a red parallel up right now of Ellie De La Cruz, so it's a color match, but it's just like a little more red than the base because it's so colorful already. So it's
there are values. So if you look back at like a popular insert in Topps Chrome always has been the Future Stars. So if you see those cards, you see the history tends to favor, like, it's not gonna be as much as the regular rookie card or the parallels there, but there are some inserts that I find, like, I remember when we went to Fanatics Fest, the first one, that guy showed us the Future Stars Ohtani auto. You know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that. It's a massive card. So there is potential, but I feel like, a lot of these inserts fall into that, like, how, other than the Ohtani or the Chases, how many Future Stars do you have in your collection that you're like, these inserts are amazing?
Not many.
Yeah, like my Future Stars inserts are still in my common cards, other than like an Ohtani or whoever, like Aaron Judge. I have a PSA Aaron Judge Future Stars. That's in a PSA 10 slab that I pulled, and now they're going for like $60-$70. So
yeah,
you know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah, no, generally speaking, you're right about the insert sets. And I'm sure this will apply to the next one I'm going to mention right now. The World Series at Night insert set. If you read what this set is about on the Topps website. It says the idea stems from the Berlin at Night subset in the Topps UEFA products, which is soccer. It overlays like city kind of grids or city maps and
I see
dynamic night themes. Yeah.
That's a cool looking card.
Yeah, I like it. It got players like Judge, Yamamoto's in it, Freeman, Garrett Cole, the Yankees and Dodgers, of course, because they were in the World Series.
I like those. I actually really like those. It's like just from an eye appeal standpoint, I think like an Aaron Judge or Ohtani would do pretty well compared to the power insert, the power players. I like this insert a lot better. If I'm pulling this, I'd be a lot happier than pulling the power players for sure.
Yeah, I think it's more distinct, right?
Yeah, it looks like you pulled something like, wow, like what is this?
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think the value is going to be there. I haven't checked on eBay what they're going for. But so here's what I like about the new sets, like the new insert sets that Topps Chrome is doing now and Fanatics in general are doing. You can actually set build, right? Like you don't need to spend that much money. If you like the look of it, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to try to get the whole set, and I'm sure it's a shorter checklist because you only have 2 teams in the World Series, right? And, you got just the main stars in the set. So if you're a set collector, I would be psyched for this kind of.
You know what? And that's a good point because back in the day, the hobby was all about set collecting. You know what I mean? So it still is out there. And I know you did the home field advantage. So I'm not going to hate on set collecting. And it gives a reason for someone to kind of chase and put together sets. But yeah, to each their own. I think it's great though in general. But I'm not set collecting when it comes to inserts still.
That's fine.
That's totally fine. Yeah, I'm not hating on it though. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Okay, one more before we go on. Topps, they dropped images of these new extremely rare parallels. Actually, it's numbered 3. And it's designed by legendary Japanese artist Takashi Murakami. And yeah, if you look at it, it's pretty sick. You got your
out of 3.
The Murakami flower design out of 3, and it's Ohtani. Like,
damn,
it's gonna go for a lot. Obviously.
Oh yeah, these, and I'm like I said, I'm not a fan of this design. I know it's art, and that's what he's known for. But like it's too colorful for me. Like I'm OG. Like I like red parallels, I like orange parallels, I like gold parallels, I like blue. But like I said, if I pulled one of these, like an Ohtani in this is insane. Like it would be going for thousands and thousands of dollars. And I think it is more strategic from a business standpoint than anything. I don't think they do it for people like me who are crapping on like designs, but I believe these are going to be monsters, just absolute highly desired monster cards. And yeah, I think there's definitely a market out there, especially because they're limited to 3.
Yes. Right? I think this is close as you come to like seeing it as true art pieces, especially collaborating with an actual legit artist. Right. So, if I got one, I might keep it unless someone offers me 6 figures. So there's a price for everything, but I love the look of it. It's pretty cool. All right, let's move on to hobby headlines. So if you're on hobby social media, you probably saw Jeff Wilson. He just revealed that Cards HQ, his hobby shop, in partnership with PSA, is offering PSA Authenticated Repacks called Graded Grails. And they're going for essentially $300 US. Now, what they say makes this different than other repacks is that first it adds an extra layer of transparency with the complete checklist, every single card within the product release available on the website. And you can also then see the odds of being able to pull every single card in that checklist. And then to add to that, PSA, this is where they get involved, they're certifying that it is in fact the checklist, which they publish, and every single one of those cards have made it into the box, including certifying that PSA also assembled, sealed, randomized, and packed every box into the cases by themselves, right? It's not by anyone else. PSA is kind of doing it all now,
right.
from grading to the whole end of the repack process. Yeah. So, and I believe PSA is also offering this to other card shops. So they're launching it with Cards HQ,
right.
but if you got another shop, you can order kind of this service that they offer.
That was going to be my follow-up question. But that's very interesting that they're doing that. So this is more of a revenue stream for them. And they're trying to build the future of it. So it seems like one, for those that love, I'll say quote unquote, love repackers, get ready. I'm going to run to the comment section because they're going to be super thrilled about this one. But
right.
Like from an economic standpoint, I don't mind it because what are you doing with the junk slabs? It makes sense because that's what a repack is essentially. It's how can we still use, I guess in like not non-valuable cards, but make them valuable as kind of like common cards. And like I said, if you had something and you hit something that was worth somewhat close to what you paid for, you wouldn't mind. So I think market fluctuation gives you that flexibility for PSA to do something like this where it's crazy to sell $20 cards, $30 cards, which a lot of these useless slabs are in because that's the cost of grading. So it's like, how do we water this down into collecting and having some kind of ROI back where we're recycling? Right. And we talked about this. It's like whey protein. Remember, it's the byproduct of garbage.
Yeah.
What are you doing with byproduct of useless stuff? That's the way I kind of see it in more of a positive light because that's the economics of a whole ecosystem that does business. It's like, what are we doing with these? Because they don't want to store them if like a customer's in vault too. So there's a lot of things that I think might seem weird to us, especially we're like from a zoomed in lens, we're like, oh, another repacker. They're promoting gambling. Sure. If you want to see it that way, then you're going to go up against Major League Baseball. It's all Vegas. Are you going to win that battle? Is it going to go away anytime soon? No. So it's like, why are we even battling them? How can we make this hobby better if it's more, education on, the addictive habits? Then that should be a solution rather than trying to kind of fix something that you really can't fix, right? So that's the way I kind of see it. Repackers, you could say it's a gamble, but hey, if I hit a card and, I'm not losing as much as the casino, that was my choice to do it. And you know what? I'll probably be okay with it. So I don't see any issue with it. I see people taking chances and risks. And I will say this. I'm going to see the comment section because I think Jeff's going to be in for it because I know there's going to be a lot of people that aren't too happy. I
mean, and I think some of it's going to be unfair criticism just because he's Jeff Wilson, right?
Just because he's Jeff Wilson, 100%, yeah.
But I inevitably we're going to get into this debate about whether repacks are good for the hobby or not. And, I like how you kind of rehashed it out and our position on it, generally speaking. But my question is, I guess the difference is really, does PSA make it better? Do you think this is a positive contribution? If you're already in agreement that repacks it is what it is, it's going to be part of the hobby. Do you think PSA coming into the game is good for the hobby on the repack side of things?
You can see it both ways. Like I said, there's going to be one camp that says, oh, this is dangerous. Having someone, monopolizing this, dangerous. Or you could say, this is credible. Having someone like PSA making sure that I'm not getting ripped off.
Right.
However you want to look at it, it's
True.
fair. I'm looking at it in the lens. We'll see. It's up for PSA to really do a good job on this. If this is something that they care about and they're looking for long-term growth, hey, if they could make the experience better, I'm in the camp where I'm optimistic. Where, okay, let's see what you do. In the past, you've graded, you've done things well and you've done things not so well, but you're moving forward. So I can't really hate. So for me, it's one of those things where, I'm going to give PSA the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not going to be the camper of, hey, yeah, the destruction can and will happen because PSA is trying to monopolize it, and there's more dangers on that side. I'm not going to play that. So yeah, in that sense, yeah, I'm optimistic.
Yeah, me too. It'll be interesting. I'm going to ask Will the same question because we joked that he hates PSA, so he might have a bias
until you get a 10.
This whole thing.
Until you get a 10.
Yeah, exactly. Until you get a 10, and then you're best friends with PSA. But no, I agree with you. I think I always ask myself, if they didn't do this, like, would it be better or not? And I think PSA, whether you hate them or love them, they're built up enough credibility to be the standard for grading. Like, if they didn't have credibility, they would not be in the number one position, right?
Right.
So I think there's credibility there. I'm optimistic to see and hopeful to see how they're going to execute it. Like, it's based on their execution. 100%. Maybe they execute it poorly. Mm-hmm. Then, that's fair criticism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people automatically say, like, no, this is going to fail. This sucks, without even seeing how it works out.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Like, execution is everything. And that's what gives a brand a bad name. And then here's the thing. I'll take this for example. When I get a PSA 7 slab back, I'm telling you, I was the first one to yell this out because I showed you with the Ovechkin, going through SGC to PSA to BGS, how different they were. And I could crap on, the grading companies for the inconsistencies, but in the big picture, it's an execution issue. It's not PSA is out for evil intentions or these guys. You see what I'm saying? So you can't necessarily judge it by, even though the experience was to me where I was like, PSA, what are we doing? Like, how can you take a PSA 7 and then it's a BGS 9.5? And I see it happening over and over and over again on these forums. And that we've been shouting it too. It's like, how, with grading this subjective, will it ruin the hobby? And it's not necessarily saying that PSA is bad as a whole because they can't be consistent from a PSA 7 to a BGS 9.5. I understand it. It's just one person that might have been unqualified or untrained. That doesn't discredit everything that PSA does.
Exactly.
Right? So to me, that's looking at it from a logical standpoint, a more fair shake. And all I'm saying is we got to look at it from that lens instead of emotionally being so tied to, oh, I got a PSA 7, therefore I hate PSA for the rest of my life, and every single decision that I make moving forward is based on that one experience.
Yeah, no, and the parallels for me is obvious with, being in the news business in my past career. Like, what gets the most attention? Just a negative press.
For sure.
Right? Like, the odd occurrence of anything will get the most attention. Because, frankly, when something happens so consistently, like, PSA grades millions of cards. Right?
There has to be a percentage somewhere.
And for the most part, people don't, complain. And if they get a 9 or 8 or 10, they just accept it, and there's nothing nefarious about it. That's more common, right? And but of course, we only hear the stories where the bad grades come or the inconsistency, and that's not excusing them. Every company should try to strive for perfection to a certain degree as much as possibly they can, just for consumer confidence. Right. It's good for their bottom line at the end of the day too. So
absolutely.
I think PSA knows that. I think businesses in general, good businesses know that. Like, consumer confidence is good for your business. So like, it doesn't do anything good for you if you just ignore that kind of feedback. Right. So I think PSA knows it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they execute it. Going back to the whole idea of this graded grails, I forgot to mention for this particular graded grails service, the $300 per box is what it costs. You could end up, the low floor is $140. So you're looking at worst case scenario, 55% loss.
Better than a hobby box, I tell you that.
Better than a hobby, yeah, exactly. The way you see, yeah. So, and you know what? To be fair, it's better than some shady repackers out there. Like, you just don't know.
Absolutely.
The bottom floor could be 0 in a lot of these cases, right? And the upper the major hits are about $1,800. That's your top limit. So you at least know the range from this, from these graded grails by PSA. So yeah,
going back to that, Clark, too. I think just remember, from let's just say my perspective, if I had a bitterness towards this whole issue, it gives me an option. If this industry grows, let's just say repacking, it gives me an option to get rid of all my PSA 9 slabs that, I sent back in 2020, 2021 for grading that are, in that range where repackers in general are looking for slabs, right? That have some sort of value. So for me, it's a great liquidity because what's it doing for me, right? I can't even sell these because I'm losing money if I ship these out. So if somebody's willing to take, 1,000 of my kind of useless slabs, right? And they're working with whoever to create this amazing repack. That's on them now to create a great product or experience for their clientele. Whether it's Jeff Wilson, whether it's, some guy in Burbank, California, it doesn't matter, right?
No, this exactly. And you know what? Like, this is what's inevitably going to happen. Mark my words, on episode 306, you can buy a raw card on eBay, right? And now there's an option. If you buy a raw card, if you win the bid, you can send it to PSA directly for grading. That's $40 US, right? If you don't get the 10, just so you get a 9, there's going to be another option.
Cash out?
At some point on the website to cash out. And they're going to put in their Graded Grails product.
And they're probably going to lowball the crap out of you, but people are going to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, but it depends on the card, right? Like, is it better for you to get it shipped back to you and then you sell it yourself?
Right.
Like, your time is worth something too, so depending on the price, obviously. If they lowball you like crazy, you have the option. I'm sure there's instances where you're like, I'd rather have the card. But there are other cases where, like, you know what? I was hoping for a 10. 9's not worth that much. I'd rather buy another card on eBay with that PSA 9 value.
Right.
So everything's going to be click of 2-3 buttons now.
And it could change. Like, the infrastructure would change. And that's the thing. We don't know what technology's in play. So right now we're just using the internet as is. We don't know if, like I said, Web3. I'm looking forward to what Web3 provides, not from a hobby standpoint, just in general societal standpoint, and then how that's going to impact the hobby, how we implement technology from a society standpoint into kind of like what we love is the hobby. So change is coming. Like, you got to be comfortable with change because we're not staying in the same infrastructure we did for the last, even 5-10 years. It's going to change.
Yeah, we're already seeing on the digital side of things. Arena Club, huge repacker, right? Blez Carts just launched theirs. They just launched their repacking service. That's online. And so, yeah, it's going to, like, repackers, like him, whether you like them or not, they provide a level of liquidity in the market. And, for some hobbyists, that's a good thing. So, yeah. That's all I had to say about the PSA Graded Grails. So it was a pretty big announcement, but yeah, just the level of execution. Honestly, can I be honest? I'm going to National next week. If the Cards HQ has a box of Graded Grails, I might just buy it for content. Just see what it's like, just to see if the $300 US is worth it. I'll probably end up with a $140 slab, but I think it'll be great for content. We'll see. So I'll follow up with you guys if I do get a Graded Grails box at the National.
When you're at the National, pick up another pack. I'm in. We'll do 2 packs.
Okay.
So increase the odds.
Yes, let's do it. Well, that sounds good. I like it. All right, let's move on to our next segment. It's over under. All right, so over under is I'm going to give you a list of 5 cards, and you tell me if it's over under a certain dollar amount. And today's over under segment, the magic number is $50,000. All right,
high rollers room,
high roller edition. Here we go. First one, the 2024 Bowman's Best, Paul Skeens, Best of 24 Superfractor, 1 of 1 autograph card in a PSA 10.
I'm gonna say under. I think Paul Skeens is like I said, last year was his big I guess spike, and even he's dealing. He's unbelievable. Unfortunately, he's not getting the wins he deserves, but he's still pitching like Paul Skeens, but pricing is going down. And it's not that he's pitching worse or anything. It's all about market. So, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised some guy overpays for this, but I'm going to say under. It should be under.
It should be under, and it is under 33,000.
Thank God.
Right?
We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not. It's not a COVID peak part 2 yet. So, and it is Bowman's best of 24. It's kind of an insert set of a.
I like Bowman's
brand,
best.
You know what I mean?
I like Bowman's best. It gets so much hate.
It's a good alternative. Yeah, I'm
finest, Topps Finest, and Bowman's best. I like both of them.
Yes. And the other factor, Paul Skeens, like you said, dealing, but what's his name? Jacob Mizrowski.
Yeah,
he's getting all the headlines now.
That's Paul Skeens last year, right? So
exactly.
It's kind of what, and that's maybe a lesson that you might want to learn is take it for what prices were with Paul Skeens last year and what he's doing this year, and do that with the same thing. Apply that logic and see the patterns.
Yes. Yep. I still believe that, investing in pitchers, you're playing with fire.
For sure.
If I had the Jacob Miz card, I'm selling right away. But
if you did pull it though, you're happy.
Yes. That's the theme for today. All right. Next card, the 2003-04 Iconic card, Topps Chrome, LeBron James Refractor rookie card, PSA 10.
PSA 10.
At its peak, I don't know if this is going to sway your vote one way or another, but at its peak, it sold for just under $300,000.
Oh my goodness. So I'm guessing peak was probably 2021, 2022, somewhere in that area. So I'm guessing it tanked shortly after 2023, 2024, and we're on an uptick. I'm going to go over.
That's a good rationale, but it is currently only worth 10% of the peaks, $30,000 right now.
Wow. So I could see that card trending up though, because I find those, especially with kind of like established Hall of Famers, this is the slow kind of like growth. And I think LeBron went through the hating phase, but then people realized, you know what? If you have a Steph Curry or LeBron James, those cards are going to be continuously going up in the long term. So I could see that card going above 50 in the next couple years.
Yeah. And for this card, I would have to check, but it all depends on the pop count as well for the PSA Topps Chrome Refractor.
It has to be pretty low, right?
Yeah, for the Refractor for sure. Yeah. I'm not so sure the same would apply for the Topps Chrome because those are higher in pop
Yes,
count
it would probably just take a lot longer for that to catch up to its peak. It would take probably 20 years or whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Okay, next one. Card number 3. The 2024 Topps Chrome UEFA. We're going soccer. UEFA Euro Chrome Red Refractor, number to 5 of Lamine Yamal. He's the top guy. He's not the top guy, but he's really the hype guy right now. PSA 10, Auto 10.
Man, soccer.
Red Refractor.
I don't know how soccer's been doing, but it didn't do as good as I thought it would. But I know that there's some big players in the game as well. There's some big, just because you have Messi and Ronaldo kind of history. Like I said, history repeats itself. Everybody's looking for the next history. So I could see it going over just because it's probably Pop 1, I'm assuming. I'm going to say over.
PSA 1010?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, the answer is over $100,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
So definitely over, but like you said, it only takes one guy to just really value.
But usually that one guy is that comp that everybody looks back. Did he overpay or underpay? And usually that comp is the overpay, and then you have the liquidity, which crashes, and then somebody's like, well, it's worth this price. And that sets the kind of next trajectory of, I guess, that upward trajectory.
Yeah, but that's crazy. And just keep that card in mind because that's going to be part of my pick 1 because I want to prove a point.
Okay.
All right. That's a teaser. Card number 4, the 2018 Upper Deck Goodwin Champions Gaudi Sport Royalty autograph of Shohei Ohtani, in his kind of suit with the red background.
Right.
PSA 9.
Wow. Not the kanji auto, right?
Not the kanji. Yeah, not the kanji.
Oh my god. Like this card, I had so many opportunities to buy this card too.
Really? Oh, that's such a sick card.
I know. I'm going to have to say over because like Otani is...
Sorry. This is going to be an easy one because it is the kanji.
It is the kanji, yeah. So I'm going to say over. Yeah, obviously the kanji has to be over, but yeah, it's crazy how far this card has come. But and it's good for the set you love too.
Yep. How much do you think it is? It's definitely over, but how much do you think it sold for last week, July 15th?
The kanji auto, that's 2018?
Yes.
That's 2018. I would say like 75K.
Close, 80K.
Okay.
July 15th, and it sold a year ago, exact same grade, PSA 9 kanji, for 21K.
There you go.
So
Crazy.
if you bought it last year for 21K,
unbelievable.
Wow. 400%.
That's not saying that card is worth that either. And like right. In terms of the 80K. So that next sale could be 50.
right.
But like I said, it depends on what Otani does, right?
What Otani's doing is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Still.
Yeah.
Was he on a 5-game home run streak? Like, who has a home run streak like that?
He's pitching too, so it's just, yeah.
And pitching.
No, I honestly, all I'm saying is I've been around the game a long time, like in terms of, like baseball is my whole life, and I'm 43 now. So I've watched a lot of baseball, and what he's doing is ridiculous. Like, it is so special at the highest level, and that's what I think I'm excited to see with Otani is not say, oh, I got to witness this. It's like enjoying the actual moment of witnessing it. It's like, wow, this guy. And part of that is through my Otani collection, right?
Yep.
So
you know what else is at the highest level? My FOMO level. So I'm going to be irrational and I'm going to end up buying some ridiculous Otani card, which I probably shouldn't have for the price that's going for right now. But I think that's coming soon. Just, I don't know how much longer I can take it. But
I always justify it this way, Clark. I always say, you know what? Cash isn't going up anytime soon. So anytime you have to put cash into an Otani card, it might be okay. Like, I think the rate of cash going down and the rate of Otani going up, I think it's fine to buy inexpensive at the rate of cash.
You need a friend like Hyung, just an enabler.
Anytime anybody needs a little push to purchase anything, just let me know.
Hyung's your guy. All right, last one. This is the closest one, I think, of the 50K mark, so it might be the most difficult. The Michael Jordan 1984 Star Rookie, PSA 7.
PSA 7.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not the Fleer, but the 84 Star Rookie.
I want to say it's over just because I believe that the star is in a trajectory it's over. But I could see it not yet. But I could be wrong. I'm going to say under.
49K. There you go. Hyung, you guys are getting better at this.
I'm telling you, this is baseball. Some days you go 0 for 5, and it's all about regrouping and showing up the next day. And then, you put up a 5 for 5 day, you're hitting 500, right? From that 0 for 5 day.
This is why I love baseball. So many valuable life lessons you can learn through baseball.
Yes.
And applies to the hobby as well. All right, let's finish our episode with our regular weekly segment we call Pick One. And I have a feeling I know what you're going to choose.
I still believe Aaron Judge is underpriced, so I'm going to keep it going with the Aaron Judge. I think it's ridiculous. I'm going to say it again. We say Otani's doing ridiculous things. Well, Aaron Judge is doing just as ridiculous things, if not better from an offensive standpoint. And I'm excited to see him because I think he's going to be a 100+ WAR guy. And I don't think we'll see one other than Mike Trout. If like he's a guy that could potentially get there, but in Judge's trajectory, he might do it before Trout does. And I think it's going to be special because what he's been doing it for such a short time. I think Aaron Judge is super undervalued compared to Otani. And I'm going back to Topps Chrome because Topps Chrome, we talk about the 2025 release. I think Topps Chrome is the flagship. And I think his Topps Chrome is underpriced. And two Topps Chrome parallels that I want to bring up. One is a Topps Chrome Sapphire BGS 9.5. Okay, it sold for $1,700. So I'm pairing that, the Topps Chrome Sapphire Aaron Judge, with a Topps Chrome Green Refractor, a BGS 9.5, and it sold for $1,330 in the same time period. So the Green Refractor obviously is number 299. And then the Sapphire, I did my due diligence. So 2017 came as a complete set. It wasn't separate where you're ripping. So, and then it had parallels. So Aaron Judge was included in that set. But I've read that the print run was similar to 2018 Acuna's year, which is closer to 250. I've also seen that the print run was as low as 85. So I don't know what that final number for 2017 was in terms of print run, but I'm saying in between 85 and 250. That's a Sapphire, and then out of 99 went for $1,330. So 1,700 Sapphire sold, which I think is cheap based on, I believe PSA 10 was 4K sale back in June of the Aaron Judge Sapphire. The BGS 9.5 sold for 1,700. I thought it was still reasonable, where I like the Sapphire, especially in that set, especially if the print run is closer to the 85 side. And then I'm pairing that up with a cheaper Green Refractor out of 99. And I know that you don't like the Green Refractors nor John, but I still think they're undervalued.
You know what? I think I must have mentioned this in a previous episode. If there's an exception to the rule with Green Refractors, it's Aaron Judge because of his number, right? Out of 99.
There you go.
So that's a factor. Yet, looking at the card ladder data, the blue Sapphire, total population of cards graded from PSA to BGS and SGC is 156.
So it's probably 250.
Total. Right. And, you know, like there might be some crossover, you know, reslap.
Right. That might be
like that.
higher.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with this is from a value perspective or the risk value perspective. And what I mean by that is give me the blue and the BGS 9.5. If it hits a PSA 10, it's
try
4K.
To cross it over.
Yeah, depending on the subgrades. Right. And if it's a PSA 9, it's sold for just over $1,500. So you're breaking even more or less. Right. Right?
Yeah.
And, makes sense. You know, if you don't like the 9, go back to the BGS 9.
That's not a bad move. That's not a bad move.
I'll do the Sapphire.
Really?
For that reason.
You wouldn't do that? Do you have that data on the green? What a PSA 10 green sold for?
Oh, that's a good
Because then if it's like the upside is like, let's just say that sold for $3,000, the Sapphire might be the play. Which I think.
So the PSA 10 sold for $2,100.
That's a great deal. $2,100. I think I think that's such an underrated card, and even though that's probably all time high, I think that PSA 10 plays pretty sneaky. But I do like. Here's the thing. I know that Sapphire brand is so strong, especially in that 2017, 2018 era, that I think liquidity is, as we see, is far superior on the Sapphire than the green right now. But I think the better value is in the Green Refractor because the print runs lower. You know, it's still Topps Chrome. It's a true Green Refractor. So the only reason why it's not getting love is because everybody craps on the green. But like you said, number 299 and Aaron Judge wears 99. Like that should be a premium. That should be a premium. Yeah. So I'm going 1330 at a BGS 9.5. I think that's a great deal. I think 2,100 for a PSA 10 compared to Otani. I believe in an Otani PSA 10 Blue Wave, probably numbered to 75 Blue Wave that year, 2018. I think it sold for like $7,500 this past week or something like that. So I think a Green Refractor of Judge at 2,100, a PSA 10, and then a BGS 9.5 at 1,300. I think that's a sneaky play. So I'm going to go the green.
Okay. No, I can't disagree. And that sold July 22nd, only a couple days as of this recording. 2,100, and there's only 7 PSA 10s out there.
Crazy. Isn't that insane? Like, to me, that's why I'm bringing this up. It's like, we need these discussions, Clark, because, like, I think I would be a buyer at 2,100 of that particular card at a pop 7.
Right.
Right? I
agree. Do you know what? You're convincing me to change my strategy. I'm going to look for judge cards at the National. Forget about dreaming about Ohtani. What am I wasting on Ohtani? I probably can't afford anything at the National, right? Yeah. Judge is the play. There you go. All right, we'll finish off with my pick 1. Remember I mentioned that red refractor 2024 Topps Chrome UEFA Euro of Lamine Yamal PSA 1010 sold for 100K. You know what also sold for 100K? 98,000 to be exact. The 2018 Bowman Chrome autograph gold rookie card of Shohei Ohtani, the batting position. This is an easy one, right?
This is an easy one.
Okay. So we're both picking Ohtani, okay? Yeah. We're both picking Ohtani, but here's my point.
I wanted to see the point because, like, this is way too obvious. Yes. There has to be something to this where I'm not.
People are going to say, like you and me, at the surface, Ohtani in a heartbeat, right? And then there's others going to say, like, who in their right mind would choose the Lamine Yamal red refractor out of 5? Although he's like top rookie right now and just the chase card of every new soccer set, you know? Right. There's still play. Like it's one of those high risk, high rewards, you know? Like if you're the person that bought 100K, you're not worried about your finances, okay? Right. You're not worried about that. You know, hopefully like you're in a different okay, hopefully not, but you didn't mortgage your house and you just bought this red refractor. But I'm gonna assume that you're well off. Okay? And some people are gonna say, oh, you're banking on him becoming the next Messi or the next Ronaldo, right? But you don't even have to wait that long. Like if he has a good solid year or 2,
right,
and it's a red refractor, you know, when it's that low, super refractors and reds of a really good brand, Topps Chrome in this case, it can do crazy numbers. So I'm just arguing for this guy. I don't know him.
Right. It's a high risk, high play. Yeah. So what do you think the high upside is on this card? Like $500,000?
No, maybe not that high because it's soccer. Like that's the other factor. Right. You know, soccer cards are, you know, it's growing, but you know, it's not up there with the other 4 major sports, right? So I think it could double in the short term. You know, like Lamine Yamal, if he does crazy things,
which can outperform that Ohtani gold during that period.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Like there's a potential.
Right.
I'm not even saying it's likely, but there's a potential.
Yeah.
Right.
If it was a super fractor, if it was a super fractor, I think I would be more intrigued. But the fact that 4 others could potentially be out there still, and I'm not guaranteed that it is a pop one, if it is a pop one, but yeah, like Ohtani gold, I could see that. Okay, that is locked up long term. You don't have to do anything
for sure,
and you're good. You're golden. So it's one of those things where, man, I don't think I would take that risk even if I had that money, unless I was a huge soccer fan and I knew that these guys on Cards to the Moon have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I like I said, what are we talking? Victor Wembanyama? Let's extract what happened there. For instance, would you do it with Victor over Ohtani right now? Same question, right? So I think it's very subjective, regardless. And maybe we're out to lunch, but I'll take this L if we're offside on this.
Like I said, it's not. I'm not arguing that it's likely at all. This maybe is a new segment we'll have in the future called "Devil's Advocate." Like it doesn't.
You know what, Clark?
Like if you're a lawyer,
we need to get a soccer guy, like on the show because I'm interested. I'm interested in soccer, but I look. We don't talk about soccer enough. I know you got Will and Roy coming on with the game side of things. It's like, hey, maybe soccer might. Just having a guess, educate us. What are the grails? What are the grails?
I'll look out for some. Yeah, if you're a Cards to the Moon listener already and you're hugely into soccer, yeah, contact us and we'll definitely talk. But I like that idea. The hobby's growing, and soccer segment is one of them. So yeah, we're always looking.
And then
to expand,
you said that they took that insert set from soccer.
Yes, the World Series.
Yeah, so I see maybe what they're trying to do is standardize branding across all sports, right? So you become more familiar with the crossovers. So maybe that's a play in the future.
Could be. Yeah, could be. All right, another great episode. Thank you guys for listening. We'll have a brand new one for you next week. And yeah, we'll talk to you then. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to Cards to the Moon. We'd really appreciate you subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can also connect with each of us on Instagram at 5cardguys, or you can follow Hyung at Integrity Sports Cards, or John at TradeU at Recess. You can also check us out at 5cardguys.com. Thanks again, and hope to connect soon.